The BBL that backfired, a cautionary comedy. Presented by Temple Timeless Tales. In the sprawling heart of Lagos, where dreams boil like stew on a charcoal stove, lived Nancy, a woman of ambition, possessed by a single idea. To be noticed. Not for her laughter. Not for her wisdom. But for the curve of her hip and the echo of her heels. She didn't want to walk into a room. She wanted to arrive, like a thunderstorm. The mirror and the whisper. Nancy stared at the mirror. It stared back, silent, reflective, too honest. Her hand traced the line of her waist, her sigh heavy with unspoken longing. I want to be unforgettable. Outside, the world rewarded perfection. Online, it worshipped exaggeration. She opened her phone. Scroll. Scroll. There she was. Miss Vivi. The queen of contour, the priestess of the posture, the definition of destruction. Nancy stared. And the seed was planted. The clinic of wonders and warnings. Down a dusty road that didn't quite believe in directions, she found it. Boost My Body Enterprises. A place where science bowed to sentiment. Madame Boost waited inside, smiling like she sold miracles and mixed them in paint buckets. You want shape? I give you sculpture. You want bounce? I give you trampoline. The walls were covered in testimonies. Photos. Before. After. Sometimes very much after. Nancy hesitated. Then she paid. The ingredients of regret. No anesthesia. No doctor. Just Nurse Ketchy with chewing gum and a roll of cling film. The tools? Household. The glue? Questionable. The method? A dance between boldness and madness. They called it the Slay Queen Supreme Package. A new dawn, a new curve. The next morning, Nancy woke up a new woman. The mirror gasped. Even her phone trembled. Is that you? Asked her ex in a DM. Yes. It was her. And yet it wasn't. Street reactions. She walked through her street like a hurricane in heels. Men stammered. Women whispered. Dogs barked out of confusion. One man tripped into a gutter. Another sent her transport fare without hello. Nancy smiled. It was working. The pain beneath the praise. But at home she could not sit. Every seat was betrayal. She slept face down. Woke up twisted. Her back ached like unpaid rent. Her thighs hummed spiritual songs. Still she endured. After all, slay queens must suffer. The itch that preached? It started with a tingle. Then a scratch. Then a full-body revival. She scratched until her neighbor called the fire service. Something was wrong. Something was growing. But not in the right direction. Visit to Madame Boost. She returned. Furious. Confused. Inflated. Madame Boost offered her ginger water and a sachet of paracetamol. You need to detox. The body is resisting the beauty. Nancy didn't know whether to laugh or explode. She chose to storm out with one cheek jiggling behind. The church scene. She went to church. Pastor paused mid-sermon. Usher dropped her tithe tray. Children cried during offertory. The holy anointing oil almost spilled. Sister Nancy, is that you? Pastor whispered. She nodded. He started a new sermon titled, The Dangers of Artificial Harvest. The Market Meltdown. In the market, a small child pointed and screamed. Mummy, that auntie is melting. Her left hip had started leaking. The glue had turned against her. The foam began to slip. Nancy ran. But you can't outrun embarrassment. The viral video. By nightfall, she was trending. #BouncingNancy. Hashtag BBL Gone Wrong. The video had sound effects and subtitles. Even her cousins in Wari sent it back to her. Is this not you? She denied it, but the curve was unmistakable. Breaking point. Alone in her room, Nancy peeled off the remains. One by one. Left cheek. Right pad. The chest foam. She stared at her reflection. There she was. Smaller. Softer. Wiser. And somehow more beautiful. Healing begins. She joined a yoga group. Started juicing things. Not everything made sense, but at least it didn't itch. Her real glow returned slowly. Through laughter. Through honesty. Through time. Madame Boost gets busted. 2 months later, the clinic was raided. Madame Boost was arrested for body vandalism. She blamed inflation. The only thing she inflated was people's expectations. And buttocks. Nancy smiled. She had survived. Full circle. Nancy became a voice. Not an influencer. A truth teller. She spoke at schools. She told her story. And when someone asked, "Would you ever do it again?" she laughed deeply. Never. I am enough. I was always enough. In a world obsessed with angles, Nancy found her depth. And maybe that's the secret. That beauty isn't built in basins. That confidence cannot be glued on. That the real shape worth chasing is the shape of your peace. Temple timeless tales. Timeless tales. Endless laughter. Deep lessons.
Soft portal hunts begin. Echoes of wisdom, stories untold, legends of old, in voices bold. Where magic unfolds, adventure awaits in every fold. Joy or harm's fate, join the journey, let the magic behold.